Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Atlas Crossings. Thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed to our channel, and if you haven't, please do. In today's topic, we'll be highlighting a phenomenon that has gained momentum in the investment world, and that is investing in sustainable and socially responsible companies. As the global consciousness for environmental and social issues continues to rise, so also is the interest in prioritizing investments in companies that actually meet the environmental, social, and ethical standards. This trend is known as ESG investing. The idea of ESG investing is basically aligning your investment with your values and ethical standards. So what then is ESG? ESG is hinged on three fundamental pillars: environmental, social, and governance. The environmental criteria basically assesses companies' performance in relation to the environment, their impact on the environment as a whole. This could include the carbon footprint of the company, their use of sustainable and renewable energy, and also their management and reduction of waste. The environmental criteria fits into the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The social criteria focuses on how companies interact with their employees, how they interact with suppliers, and how they interact with the local community. This could include things around labor practices, diversity and inclusion, and also making a positive impact in the local communities that they operate in. The idea here goes beyond looking at the companies themselves, but ensuring that the suppliers or partners they work with also meet these labor laws, also meet these employee requirements, and also ensure that within their own local communities they are making positive impact and interacting positively with the local community. Finally, the governance criteria deals with the internal structure and dealings of a company, having to do with the leadership, having to do with transparency, and meeting other governance and ethical requirements. The idea of the governance structure is basically looking at leadership, the way leadership interacts with themselves, the salaries, the transparency they provide, but ensuring that they actually behave in accordance with the law and ethical values as associated and required of these companies. It is argued that companies with strong governance tend to be more accountable, but also are less prone to controversies and are less prone to different types of scandals. The overall idea of ESG has grown significantly, especially with young investors. Young investors want to know that their investments are potentially going into right places, into companies that make real world impact. So by investing in these companies, these young individuals are aware that their investments can make a real world impact beyond just generating financial returns for them. So now that you understand the key fundamental pillars of ESG, the question is, what's the benefit of ESG? Why invest in ESG? Now, for one, ESG allows investors to align their portfolios or to build portfolios that align with their values and ethical standards. So it means that looking beyond the financial returns that you might receive from investing, there are also potentials that your money is going to companies that actually make real world impact. This can create a feel good experience for investors, ensuring that they are not just putting money into companies, but also putting money into companies that are able to make positive impacts on the world. The other benefit can also be the fact that data and research shows that over a long-term period, ESG compliant companies actually financially outperform companies that are non-ESG compliant. It would be interesting to see, however, where you can create portfolios with only ESG compliant companies, how they perform in comparison to portfolios that are created with non-ESG compliant companies alone. It would be quite interesting to see that. There might be other variables that might impact on that performance, but it would be an interesting aspect to highlight how these different portfolios might perform over a long period of time. So now that you know about ESG, you know about some of the benefits of ESG, and you're saying to yourself, you would like to invest in ESG products. So how do you get on with investing in ESG products? There are different and various options that are available for you. If you go on any of the investment platforms in the stock exchange market, you can find mutual funds that allow you to invest in ESG. You can also find ESG tracker funds, exchange traded funds that track the ESG ETFs. Now, these are different options that allow you to get involved in investing in ESG compliant companies and products. Alternatively, you can handpick, you can engage in stock picking, where you identify individual companies that meet the ESG requirements and align with your values and ethical standards, and then invest directly in them. The important idea here is to find the companies that actually resonate with you, the companies that meet your values and ethical standards, and that way you can start to invest in such companies through any of the platforms or investment platforms that you have access to. The idea of ESG investing has grown significantly globally, and we see quite a significant amount of investments going into ESG compliant products. Now, that is that on ESG investing. If you enjoyed that video, kindly give it a thumbs up. Kindly subscribe to Atlas Crossings. Until next time, continue to show up.